Greetings, I'm Charise, and I had a health challenge a couple of years ago. And what happened is I kept waking up in the morning and I was so weak and tired, and I was very nauseous, and I also had other symptoms of numbness in my arms and legs, mostly the extremities, hives, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. So I began to search and search, and I went to many medical doctors. I went to ophthalmologists because my eye hurt. I went to gynecologists thinking maybe it was that. Went to see my PCP, primary care physicians, and they all told me the same thing, that they couldn't find anything. So after a myriad of tests, they did testing and testing and testing, and they said, all your tests are normal. I don't know what it could be. And if they didn't know what it could be, I didn't know what it could be. And this was very disheartening, and I just couldn't figure out what was the problem, because I knew I wasn't feeling well. And they began to tell me, well, it's all in your head. I'm making things up. I know it wasn't making things up, because every day I felt this way, and I was working full-time at the time. And at the time when I was working full-time, I was putting in many, many hours, many, many days a week, and just to keep going, keep pushing myself, trying to make the money and trying to go to medical doctors and find out what could this problem be. And no one knew the answers. And I must have gone to, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 doctors at the time. And I began to even go back to them when they couldn't find the answers. And then I said to myself, well, maybe I should, investigate further, look a little deeper. And I asked one of my coworkers if he knew of a naturopath. And he said, yes, he did. And I asked him who it was, and he said it was Dr. William Richardson. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try him. I mean, I might as well. I tried everyone else. So I went to Dr. Richardson's office, and I was greeted so warmly. I mean, this was very, very disheartening at the time. Before I came to the office, when I went to his office, I didn't know what to expect, but I was greeted so warmly by John Richardson, his brother. And he began to just ask me a myriad of questions and shaking his head, thinking, okay, he was listening very intently, which gave me a sense of peace. And he said, okay, I think we can help you here. And then when he went and introduced me to Dr. William Richardson, Dr. William Richardson also was very warm and personable to me, and he listened very intently, as if he knew what it was already, which was very, very encouraging, because no one before then had known. So after Dr. William Richardson listened, and he also did some tests, he said, yes, you have heavy metals and you have some candida. And I was very pleased to at least know that I had some answers, although I was still very ill. And he told me what I needed to do, and I said, tell me, I'll do whatever I need to do. And he said, well, first off, you need to change your diet. He says that food and your water and your liquid intake is so very important to your healing. And I said, okay. I said, I'll do whatever it takes. And he said, no more sugar. And I said, okay, fine, that's not a problem. He says, no, you don't understand. He says, sugar is in so many things, and it takes so many forms. It could be sucrose, it could be high fructose corn syrup, it could be white sugar, it could be carbohydrates that turn into sugar in the body. And I began getting such an education with Dr. William Richardson. And when he told me that, and I began to really investigate it, every time I ate sugar, how my body felt. And it would tremor, and it was acting as if it wanted to throw this chemical off, because that's what sugar is. It's a drug. And going back to what Dr. Richardson was saying, was that, don't eat the sugar anymore. Eat high proteins foods, which is mostly the green leafy stuff, which is your vegetables, and even a little bit of fruit would be okay, but be sure to do your food combining, and to have your fruit in the morning and your water, most of the water throughout the day. But break your fast in the morning with water, pure good water, high pH water, and maybe a little bit of fruit. and in the evening and throughout the rest of the day, have your green leafies. And I began to do that with the food-based healing. And then also he said, you need to come in and do a little chelation and do some vitamin C immune drips to build up your system. So I said, fine. So I began to go in and I began to chelate and I began to do the vitamin C immune drips. And over a course of time, I started feeling better and better and better. And this happened to me around May of 2010 when I left corporate America. And it is now 2012. And I actually teach Tai Chi now. I not only, take Tai Chi, but I teach Tai Chi and I feel vibrantly healthy each and every day. I mean, I wake up, I haven't had tremors and I can't remember. I haven't had any other symptoms since I can even remember. And, I just really, really appreciate the grace that I was given from the Most High to be able to have found Dr. William Richardson and Atlantic Clinic of Preventative Medicine. And I actually, during that time, I was journaling, and I was actually journaling for myself and just telling my story to myself because it was helping me to write things down. I was writing things down because no one seemed to understand what I was going through, and the journaling was helping me. So as I journaled and journaled and journaled, and here it is 2 years later, I didn't even realize that I had written a book. And the book that I had written, I thought I had written it for myself, but during my meditations and things, it came through me that this book was not for me, that this book was for humanity to help others to heal. So I'm here and giving my test as my testimony, saying that you can also heal yourself. Just use the food-based healing, the water, come to Atlantic Clinic of Preventative Medicine, and my book, which is called Healing Gifts from Our Planet. And you will see it at the end of this tape, this promo, that you will be able to see what the book looks like, where you can pick it up, because it tells my story. It tells all the different things that you can do to assist yourself in healing yourself, because no one can heal you but you. You are the Calvary. You are the one that's coming over the hill to say, hey, I can help you. So you go within and you decide for yourself and look at me as an example to say, she did it.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, if you would, just in a capsule, what all were you dealing with? You mentioned fatigue and tremors. Could you just, we don't want to dwell in it, but I just want them to know I had this.
Oh my gosh. I wake up in the morning, and at that time, I was working. And we had really a problem with calling off work. So I couldn't call off work very much. So I had to push myself. And in the morning I would wake up and I would be so fatigued. And I would practically roll out of bed because I couldn't hardly get out of bed. And I had, on occasions I would get hives that could show up mostly on my arms. The extremities, that's where it happens first, because the body knows how to heal itself from the inside out, and it will protect your organs first. So things will usually happen with your extremities. So I would begin to feel, itchy, as if something was trying to get out, and it was the heavy metals and the candida that was trying to get out. At the time, I didn't know that. But I would have these tremors, of my body just trying to, detox itself. But it couldn't do that by itself because I didn't know or understand that what was going on for it to even perform the task that at hand. So between the tremors, the hives, I had diarrhea sometimes because my body was trying to throw it off. And I didn't understand what that was about. And then other times I would be constipated because, I was putting things in my body that weren't going through my body well. So I wasn't drinking enough water, and I'm talking about good water, because people say water doesn't taste good. Well, bad water doesn't taste good, but good water taste delicious. And you'll find, because I found that when you eat real food, I'm not talking about monosodium glutamate, high fructose corn syrup, MSG, foods that have all type of, which really is not food that have all type of chemicals that are sprayed on it, and it comes in a package. It's usually, if it comes in a box or a bag, it's not food. Food grows out of the ground. Food grows out of the earth. And that food that grows out of the earth that shouldn't be untampered with, which is organic food, is real food. And that food is what will vitalize and nourish you. So the symptoms that I was having was mostly the fatigue and the tremors and the hives, and it was just so overwhelming.
Did you think you were going to die?
I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to die. I knew I was going to die, matter of fact. Didn't even think about it. I knew, because over time, it got worse and worse. Whereas I may have been having a tremor today, or, back then, it would be, like more constant. So I may have had one once every 2 weeks, then maybe once a week, then every couple of days, and the fatigue kept getting worse and worse and worse because the sugar and the heavy metals were eating away at me. And another thing that was existing in myself was I had amalgam fillings in my mouth. And those amalgam fillings are actually mercury, the same stuff they put in thermometers that's inside of your mouth. And every time you chew, every time you bite, every time you speak, it just because it's inside of you, it's leaking the mercury through your system and your vital organs, and that poison in itself will kill you. Not only mercury, but the chemicals that you work around, whether it's in your hair, whether it's when you're cleaning solutions in your home, whether it's in the workplace, all of those chemicals, the mercury, the sugar. I mean, I'm really blessed, and that's why I'm here to say that I was given grace to be able to be healthy and to tell you here today, because with all that stuff going on in my body, it's a wonder that I lived through it.
Now, one of the things we try to do is disease reversal health coaching, lifestyle counseling. You went through that process.
Yes.
What role did that play in terms of the CDs, the DVDs?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I got a myriad of education coming to the Atlantic Clinic of Preventive Medicine. And John Richardson, the doctor's brother, who's also the manager of the office, he gave me some CDs to ingest, I will say. I looked at it and really took it in. I had gotten a myriad of CDs and DVDs that I would listen to and watch, and really could understand what was going on in society, what was going on in the body. It gave me an education. It gave me such an education to be able to not only go to the Atlantic Clinic of Preventive Medicine, but when I went home, I was able to continue the healing journey, because I had the information. And I walked the journey. I walked the journey of the food-based healing and drinking the good high pH water, because the body is to be about 7.4% pH. And when you drink tap water that has heavy metals in it, I mean, all of those things I learned from the myriad of tapes and CDs and DVDs of disease reversal, how you take a person that in a depleted health state and how they can heal themselves, how you can really heal yourself. That education was so invaluable to me that I'm just ever so grateful.
What anything about Dr. Richardson, his demeanor, approach? How
Oh my gosh, Dr. Richardson is so warm. His professionalism, his knowledge base, his understanding. He take as much time with you as you need. I remember coming back on another occasion after I had 3 sessions with him. And we have like a program where he gives you 3 sessions. And I said, you know, I still have some more questions. Is there any way I could talk to him again? And the nurse said, oh yeah, sure. You know, he's very amenable to just talking to you anytime, you know, so just give me a few minutes and I'll take you on back. And he sat down with me and explained and just I mean, just the amount of time that he gave me, which when you go to a regular doctor, you know, you might have 10 minutes. If you're lucky, you get to maybe 10 minutes of actual, you know, like time that you see the doctor face to face. But with Dr. Richardson, I had so much time with him. And then he did a 12-page workup on me. Just you know, he took my case from the information that I gave him and the testing. He did like a 12-page workup on me. So when I went back, I had all this information that I could take away and take home and really read and ingest and really, you know, see what was going on specifically with me. And that's what you really need. You really need to know what's going on with you individually. Because although my story, which I call the story, because it's not my story, I don't claim it. I don't claim illness. I claim vibrant health. Okay, when you really understand from that information what you really need to do to help yourself heal, specifically what you need to do to help yourself heal.
Anything else you'd like to say?
I just like to say thank you for the opportunity to be able to tell my story. I just love coming here. I love Dr. Richardson and John Richardson. I don't see them enough because now that I feel so well, I don't come to the office as much anymore. But you know, there is still always a maintenance with health. Health is an ongoing journey. Vibrant health is an ongoing journey. You have to continue on. And I tell you, I have no desire even to have any sugar because real food tastes so good that the other stuff, it doesn't even have a taste to it that I desire, and there's no life in it. But coming here and eating vibrant food, I will never exchange that in my life ever again.
Thank you so much. And you look blessed, and we're all blessed with your story today. We're all going to get that book, which is called what?
It's called Healing Gifts from Our Planet, A Woman's Journey to Vibrant Health, and it's by Charise. And please pick it up at barnesandnoble.com or amazon.com.
And there it is.